Welcome to the InfoMullet YouTube channel. If you enjoy this content, please like or share. And if you'd like to support the InfoMullet by becoming a mulleteer, visit us on Patreon. We appreciate your support. In the US, what's the biggest change of the pandemic we're missing right now that will appear in 2021? We just went over the international. Now we're going to go over the US. And again, this is all contingent on my forecast that we don't reach herd immunity in 2021. The great change that is being missed is what I call the leveling of location, the great leveling of location. In the US, despite the internet, despite telework, despite remote work, there have been haves and have-nots on cities based on location-based network effects that were during the internet booms in the 90s. This is when the trend really started. Certain have cities, usually on the coast, they had nice areas, good environments. You're talking San Francisco, Seattle, Boston. They became the winners of this network effect of the more capital came in, they attracted a lot of talent, therefore there's a lot of talent to start new startups, therefore more capital came in. This shifted in the last 10 years. You saw this begin to move and grow in south and southwest areas and southeast areas. Atlanta network effects, Austin network effects in Texas. You're seeing these regional hubs of location-based clustering. Alongside that has come a lot of the ills that we don't directly relate to work location, cost of living, real estate prices, wage inequity, average wage and rental prices. These are all tied together. And what the leveling of location means is as more and more companies decide they're not going to base their headquarters or they're not going to require their workforce to be on site in a specific area and they adopt workforce, that has a tremendous cascade effect that may undo these accumulations that have been building for 20 years. I mean, imagine a scenario where a lot of companies in San Francisco say, hey, high-paid tech workers, you no longer have to live here, and they just disperse over California and the rest of the United States. First of all, a lot of people be like, no Californians, but let's forget the politics, right? The economic impact of that would be devastating to California, absolutely devastating, and especially San Francisco. You're talking about a collapse, but it would benefit every other area, and it would begin to level out some of these things. That the cost of living in San Francisco is so much higher than just about anywhere else. And in these cities where these network effects, that's where the drivers of your inequality. These are inequality machines. So the leveling of locations is a sort of a neutral force. It has, just like the network effect had winners and losers, the leveling of location will have winners and losers. Those areas where remote workforces move to, they have lower cost of living, they're going to benefit, they're going to get better economics. We might see things like less commuting, less carbon. These are all good things. You might see real estate after a bit of disruption begin to decline in these areas that are like high real estate now. That'll help new buyers on the market. It won't help current owners that are under these really expensive mortgages. So the downside, you might see foreclosures go up. You might see that. Personal habits, there's a lot of personal habits that are changing, not just the way it works, but how much do I go out and spend on eating and consumption and things like that, that when we stay in, we realize, wow, I was spending a lot of money on things I didn't need to spend on. As that change and becomes a habit-forming device that we don't go back to, that's going to be a leveling out effect on the economy. And we don't know where this is going to go. But the fact that this didn't end in June, it didn't end in September, it's certainly not ending in December, and I don't think it's going to end for 2021, means that the impetus for this leveling effect becomes stronger and stronger. If this had been a 3-month thing, no one's going to relocate their company or make their workforce remote over just 3 months. They may do it for a period of time and then come back. But as this becomes the new normal and we continue to struggle with this, I think that's the biggest change to watch for in 2021. And you're going to see it in real estate prices and inventories. If inventories begin dropping, if inventories increase, there's a threshold effect in real estate inventory. At 6 months and above, you've got a collapse coming. You've got too much inventory, properties aren't moving, the prices are too high. That was a leading indicator that helped me call the housing collapse in the 2007, 8, 9 recession. I was able to call the housing collapse looking solely at housing inventory. Real estate prices lag inventory, so you could watch those. Now, right now, real estate prices are good. They continue to go up, so it's not showing yet. But watch the inventory in these coastal areas. And if inventory starts to creep to 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, that may be an early indication. You might also see some marquee headlines of this company moves out of this city. I've seen one of those recently where a company moved out of California to Texas. You may see those announcements, but a lot of this stuff is going to happen off the major radars. It's going to be second tier companies that aren't the name brand ones, but are also distributing their folks. And that's how you're going to know that this leveling effect is underway. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to follow the InfoMullet, visit us on Facebook or Twitter. And if you'd like notifications when we post new video content, click on the red subscribe button below the video. If you've ever wanted to become a mulleteer and support the InfoMullet, visit us on Patreon. We appreciate the support.